Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. The New York football Giants, not the New York field goal Giants, the New York football Giants beat the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland 21-15. And guess what? I almost had a heart attack at the end of that game. One thing that the New York Giants will always do is give you a hard time as a New York Giants fan. As a Giants fan, they never make it easy. They always make you sweat no matter what. We started off that game with a fumble on a kick return. Cleveland Browns turned around one play, one pass, one touchdown. It's 7-0, and only 11 seconds were off the clock. It was 7-0 with 14 minutes and 49 seconds still in the first quarter. Only the New York Giants have something like that happen where you get the ball, you fumble. That's the most New York Giants thing in the world. Then you turn around and go 3 and out. Turn around, go 3 and out, you punt the ball, but guess what happened? That defense said, not today. Shane Bowen said, not today. Dex, Bobby Okereke, Tibbs, Burns, even Elijah Chapman said, not today. Not today, Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. The New York Giants got punched in the mouth and turned around and put the paws on the Cleveland Browns for 2 quarters. And luckily for the New York Giants, we scored enough points in those 2 quarters to last us the entire game. But let's talk about it. Let's get right into it, man. I'm going to give out some game balls. First guy that I'm going to give a game ball out to again is Shane Bowen. The second guy that's going to get a game ball is Malik Neighbors. Shout out to Malik Neighbors for being everything we expected him to be. Everything that we wanted and hoped and dreamed that Malik Neighbors could be, he is already turning into that. He needs to just keep on building off that. The second game ball I want to give to, or third game ball, I should say, I forgot to order that fast. Shout out to Daniel Jones for having a good Daniel Jones game. This was a good game for Daniel Jones. Completion percentage, yardage, touchdowns, all in that first half. You kidding me? 2 touchdowns in the first half. Was it $178 in the first half? I think he ended with like 230, 240, something like that. You guys can, correct me in the comment section down below. Again, this is just my initial reaction, but still, shout out to Daniel Jones. Now let's talk about this defense just a little bit. Not a little bit, but a lot of bit. We saw Burns show up today. We saw Burns show up. We saw Tibbs show up today. Get some pressure. He could have had a whole sack, and I believe he got a half a sack. Shout out to Azeez Ojulari showed up today. Again, Dex is Dex, and it sucks when you say Dex is Dex because you're not really giving him his due, but we already know what Dex is. Dex showed up today. Elijah Chapman, the UDFA, Elijah Chapman showed up today. Bobby Okereke, the secondary. Pinnock got a sack today. The New York Giants ended the game with 7 sacks on Deshaun Watson because of what? Because we were aggressive. If Shane Bowen can draw it up like this, the rest of the season, this New York Giants defense should be able to compete with a lot of teams if we can draw it up like that. We saw some fantastic things happen. And again, I understand it's the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns offense is what it is. But no, let's not take credit away from what these guys did today. They put out a good performance. And if it wasn't for that defense, especially in the second half, holding the Cleveland Browns, because our offense disappeared in the second half. I don't know what happened to the offense. But if it wasn't for that defense holding it down still, causing turnovers still in that second half, I don't know if the New York Giants win the game. Maybe 21 points isn't good enough. And going back to the offense really quickly, this game, you left some points out there on the field. I'm not going to nitpick for long, but I'm going to point out a couple of things because I did not like it. We scored 21 points in that first half. This was a game where we could have easily had 35 points. And again, that's me nitpicking and being greedy and, being selfish or something like that. And yeah, we could have scored at the end of the game too. We decided to nail it down at the one. Yeah, we could have had 28 points, but I'm talking about even before that, we could have had 35 points. For the second week in a row, a nice drive, in the second half ended with a running back fumble, Devin Singletary. It gave me the same exact vibe. We were moving the ball, he fumbles, and everything just shuts down after that. We could not, and I said it in the live, Devin Singletary does not have a history of fumbling the ball, but we've seen it for 2 weeks straight. Same situation, same scenario, almost the same exact drive. If it wasn't the same drive, the opening drive coming out in the second half. Or for us, I should say, our possession. We cannot allow that to happen. There was a nice would-be touchdown. A would-be touchdown to Malik Neighbors down the sideline if Daniel Jones could connect with him. He overthrew him. But if he catches that's a touchdown. I like the counter that Brian Dable did. We saw him go tight in the beginning of the game. But we also saw what Brian Dable actually is. Once we started playing with the lead, we saw once we started playing with the lead, we saw him go empty backfield. Are you crazy? Empty backfield. No matter what Brian Dable does, he will always try to abandon the run. And I think somebody has to reel him in. Like, listen, we got to stop with this. We got to stop with this empty backfield look. I understand you want to spread this defense out to give you less pressure on the quarterback, but that's not the New York Giants need to play ball. We need to play ball with a running back in the backfield, not lined up wide. Yes, you might be able to motion him in, but we saw him go empty backfield a lot. And yes, that's Brian Dable in his bag, but we're not that type of team right now. But again, the New York Giants won the game, so I don't want to be too critical right now. I'm going to enjoy this win, and I don't care what anybody says, because all I heard it, and I said this week, all I said myself is how strong this Cleveland Browns defense is, how this is going to be the best defense we face. And yes, they still are one of those defenses, but guess what? The New York Giants did pretty damn good. The offense did pretty damn good against that Cleveland Browns defense. Very good, actually. And it's not like the Browns played bad. Their defense was making plays. They were getting pressure. They did get I believe they did get a sack. They might have. JOK was all over the place making plays again. But outside of that, the New York Giants were able to move the ball on the Cleveland Browns. And you can't tell me that if we can move the ball on the Browns defense, we should be able to move the ball on anybody. Yeah, I said it, anybody. If you can move the ball on the Browns, you should be able to move the ball offensively on anybody, any defense. But we'll see, what happens. We have the Dallas Cowboys right around the corner. It's Thursday. It's not even right around the corner. It's the next house over. We got the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday. We got no room, no breathing room before we got to get back on that field. But I'm loving this win right now. It makes me feel fantastic. It gives me a little bit of confidence going into that Dallas Cowboys game. And guess what? You never know. Any given Sunday, Thursday, Monday, or whenever you're playing football. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about this victory. Are you buying it? Are you selling it? Are you just happy that we finally got the first W of the season? Are you looking forward to the Dallas Cowboys a little bit more now? Do you have a little bit of more pep in your step going into Thursday now? Because I do. I absolutely do. Shout out to the New York Giants for giving me something to cheer about, for keeping me engaged for 4 quarters. Shout out to the New York Giants for that. These guys really needed this win. The players, like the fans, needed this win. We wanted this win. The players really, really needed this victory, because it wasn't just a few guys playing well. It was the whole bunch playing well. And I think that does a lot for the confidence in the room. I didn't see Hyatt the way I wanted to see Hyatt. I mean, it is what it is. In losses, you want to I will focus on that more, in the losses, because I still believe that Hyatt is a guy that if you want to keep moving forward, if you want to evolve this offense, you have to, do something with Hyatt. But when you're winning games, it softens the blow a little bit. And we did see Daniel Bellinger get involved a little bit. We saw Theo Johnson get involved a little bit. And that's what we're talking about. It's not one tight end versus the other. Both of these guys need to get targets. Both of these guys are able to make plays. And also, that was a horrible holding call on Daniel Bellinger. That was not a hold. His hands were inside. We saw the cornerback, safety, whoever he was blocking, sell that as a hold. That wasn't a hold in my opinion. And you know what? It is what it is when it comes to that, but it wasn't a hold. But shout out to the New York Giants for winning their first game in the 2024 season and giving the New York Giants fans something to be excited about for at least a day before we got to move on to the Dallas Cowboys. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. We got our first victory. Victory Sunday afternoon, victory Monday. We can talk about Dallas on Tuesday. Let's go.